This is Magnus from Days of Jupiter. You are listening to Brutally Delicious Podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
All right, so first off, let's just start with this. The World Was Never Enough out February 7th. So let's talk about Days of Jupiter. I love doing this show because I find bands that I've not heard of or know nothing about, as well as doing, bands I've heard of. But I love coming across bands like you guys I hadn't heard until I started prepping. And I love this record. I've been listening to, is it The Fix or just Fix?
The Fix, yeah.
Yeah, great song.
Oh, thank you.
What's been the response to it so far?
I think The Fix was the song that their label thought should sell the record, so it was one of the songs we promoted the most. Unfortunately, it didn't make any Spotify playlists, so on Spotify we had some problem getting it going, but on YouTube we have a great success with almost 240,000 views so far. So yeah, that song is it's a good song, and we try to push it as hard as we can.
I said I wasn't familiar with you guys, but doing the research, I think you've been around since like 2010, right?
Yeah.
How do you write records that are not repeats of the ones past, right? So now you're doing this 14, 15 years. You don't want to alienate your fan base, but you also don't want to write the 2010 record.
How we go about it, we try not to repeat ourselves, and we go into the songwriting sessions with that in mind, to explore more. We think we got this dude with an amazing vocal. He has a great voice, and we try to make it. We say it like this in the band: whatever music we tend to write, when Janne's voice gets to it, and he put down the vocals to the song, it becomes Days of Jupiter. And with that in mind, we can try to write a little bit more, not to repeat ourselves, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. How do you think this record showcases your growth as musicians and songwriters and players?
Foremost, I think with the recording, with the overall sound on the album, it's so much more well thought. Songs are more thoroughly written. I think we have taken more time in the studio to actually highlight all the songs. All the songs need to be at 100%, and I think it's the first album that we have made that we had that kind of time to actually really produce the album as we wanted to say, we wanted it to sound in the beginning.
So The World Was Never Enough. I mean, obviously the title sounds, deep and whatever and well thought out, but is there something you want your fans to take away from, like a message after listening to this record?
I think our lyrics, our point of view when it comes to lyrics is we write stuff that's close to our heart. I think it's every grown man or every grown adult, or in that case a teenager also as well, can have a relation to. We don't write lyrics about dragons and castles and magical wonderlands. We try to keep it close to our hearts and with a topic that people can relate to.
Do you ever feel a sense of responsibility to your listeners to write a certain lyric or a certain song?
Not in that way, but we have a kind of a standard that we want to maintain, and so we want to keep putting out music that it's of high quality and well written, and a lot of thoughts go into the whole process with all the lyrics and all the music, and that's important to us.
Okay. When you guys are writing, are you all getting together and writing, like in the same room?
We do it a couple of different ways. it can begin with just an idea from one of the lads in the group, which comes up with a cool idea, and we take it to the rehearsal room, and we made it from that point together. Sometimes another writer can get to us, and the whole demo is there, so we just pick it up in the rehearsal room, and we complete it there. But all the songs have gone through the band. We meet and we train. We write them together, like the final touches. So it all goes through the band before we record it.
I think, and I know everybody's got a way to do it, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I think that's the way that sounds the most organic, and the way that rock and roll, heavy metal, whatever, kind of evolved, right? Everybody got in the room and bounced shit off each other.
Yeah.
And it sort of evolved, and it's super organic. And I get, people want to take use of technology, but I think you can tell when something was written this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way we want it. We have that privilege that everyone in the band is from the same city. We live like a couple of minutes from each other. So we've got that luxury to really meet and to rehearse together. I think there are a lot of bands today that don't even live in the same countries, and as for some reason you can hear it in the music sometimes, if you know what I mean.
People say I'm crazy. I've said that a few times, and people tell me I'm nuts, but I honestly think you can pick that out.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Are you guys planning on taking this out on the road?
Yeah, hopefully. Nothing is a done deal yet, but we hope to get some live gigs. We are right now working on the summer festival, and hopefully we'll get some gigs there. But nothing is a done deal yet. So
touring is hard in these climates. I mean, I'm not touring, but I talk to people all the time, and fuel and people taking custom merch and doing all that weird shit. You can't really get out there and play to 3 people and make a living.
No, that's hard. Yeah, so absolutely, it's hard nowadays to make a living out of it. It's nearly impossible. And for us as a minor band, we are struggling to just get out there and spread our name. So for us, absolutely, we need to get out and play, but it's not that easy.
No, you have lives and families, and you can't sell a house to go tour. I mean, you got to be realistic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever imagine that 14 years later you'd still be doing this? Because bands come and go, right? Everybody's got an album and then they're gone. And like we're talking about, the climate sucks.
Yeah. For me, it's the love for music. I will be doing this whatever someone's listening or not. For me, it's the craftsmanship of the making the music, and I think for me it's the most rewarding thing in life to do this, writing songs and spend time with my guys in the band. I think it's great. So for me, I will never lay down the drumsticks. No way.
Right, that's beautiful. How do you know when a song is done then? So let's take the fix. How do you sit there and go, okay, it's done, or is it you just run out of time and it's got to be sent to the record company?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Sometimes when you got too much time and too much the song not necessarily will be better if you got a lot of time. Sometimes you need to know when it's done, and that's sometimes the hardest thing, because it's so easy to begin like, oh, can't we do this better? Let's try and do this. But sometimes you need to back down and think, well, it's a good song. We have to begin there.
You could ruin it too, right? If you just keep traveling down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, absolutely. And some songs are like almost writing themselves. They make so much sense. It just works. Then we have some songs that we have worked with on 2 or 3 albums. That is a great idea. We want to make this song, but somehow it doesn't it doesn't add up at the end, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. So when you're writing, then are you approaching the album with a theme or like a loose theme in mind, or do you just kind of write and then see what happens?
We write songs. We have many songs to choose from, and it comes down to make an interesting album. You have to have various tempos, various thematical lyrics. Like maybe a ballad. You have to compose the album with songs, and that's important for us to have a vivid and great album in that way.
So do you get to the point, because I know sequencing is a whole art itself that's almost lost, but so do you get to the point where you're like writing a bunch of songs and then you start sequencing and saying, well, we got to sacrifice this when it doesn't fit the overall theme?
Yeah, that happens. We have like songs that would be bound to end up on this album but didn't. And those are not thrown in the trash, but they are there. So maybe they cut it to the next album.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I imagine if you're sequencing and you're writing to a theme, you might get to a point where you're like, this one doesn't. Even if it's not just lyrically, maybe just tempo or something that doesn't fit into the mix.
I think that's the most important thing to get a varied album, not to have the same song all over the whole album. You want to have this. Like different tempos, different time signatures, and I'm gonna make it an interesting album.
I think, and most people nowadays are probably not, or they're missing it totally, right? Because you used to go buy a record and you'd listen to it. It was a journey from the first time you put the needle on to the end, just the way you wanted to control the ebbs and flows and the emotions. And that's sort of missing in the world of 30 seconds of one single.
Yeah, I agreed. But that's the kind of the backside of this modern music industry. Like it's too easy nowadays to skip a song or choose something else. So you need to be like in a few seconds. You need to be as interesting as possible to have the listener. But for me, like I'm growing up with, as you said, with putting the needle on the album and such. So an album for me that's the most important thing for me. So
it's a whole experience, even from reading the lyrics and who they thanked and.
Absolutely, yeah, totally. So that's kind of the backside of the music industry today. I think it's too few people who actually have to have experienced that experience. Yeah.
Yep. I know my kids don't have any clue. They're just they're a product of their environment, and it's just let me get that one single and beyond. And then, like we just said, 30 seconds into that one single, they're already looking to go to something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how it is today.
How do you stand out above the noise, or how do you try to stand out above the noise? Because there's too much of it, right?
Yeah, that's also a hard thing for a upcoming band. For us, it's like we need to write as good as a song that we possibly can and keep it interesting that way and deliver high quality music. That's our way, and be consistent about it. We need to keep producing albums that are better and better and well written and real. It's important for us, and I think that's our key in this. We are not that good at the social media thing, and we have to do it, but it's not comes natural for us as we are a little too old.
Right. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring me to the end of my regular questions. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you so much.
I do like the record. Good luck with it. Hope it does well for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We hope so too.
Cheers.
Yep. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, this is Bjorn from Soulwork, and this is Brutally Delicious.
Podcast.
there, heavy metal maniacs and kitchen crusaders. I'm Bruce Moore, the host of the Brutally Delicious podcast, where we whisk up a blend of metal and food to quench even the most discriminate tastes. Have you ever wondered what your favorite metal musician chows down on before they hit the stage to melt your face off? Well, look no further. Here at the Brutally Delicious podcast, we have cooking segments so brutal they'll make your oven want to headbang. From beefy, bodacious burgers, to spicy, succulent salmon, to kickin' caliente cauliflower, and more. We mix metal and culinary creations, resulting in a feast for the senses.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, this is Michael Monroe. Brutally delicious. Isn't that beautiful? See you down the road.
Each week, I meet with the mammoths of metal for interviews that are spicier than a Carolina Reaper. Get the latest on their upcoming shows, behind-the-scenes stories, and if we're lucky enough, maybe they'll share a secret family recipe or two with us. You'll also want to check out our weekly album and show reviews, where we dice, slice, and serve up our unique takes on the latest metal releases. So grab your leather apron, crank the volume to 11, and subscribe to the Brutally Delicious podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's sure to be a hell of a time.
Oh, hey there. It's Tim from Protest the Hero. Now that you've seen my junk, I'm going to show you how to make a pizza. And you're watching Brutally Delicious.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera, Soulfly, and you listen to Brutally Delicious podcast. Stay mad, motherfuckers.